I wanted to do something that was meaningful.
So I came along to the information meeting and it just went from there, really.
I first started thinking about joining Samaritans a few years ago, actually. I wanted to do some voluntary work.
I was unfortunate enough at one stage in my life to know 3 people that chose to take their life.
Very sadly, a friend of mine committed suicide last year, and I thought that was probably a sign that maybe I should get on and do it.
Why did they do it? What was going on inside their head? And could have anything been done to prevent them taking that action?
It's quite an intensive process that we go through in training. I think it's over about 10 weeks altogether.
If anything, the training was harder than taking my first few calls.
I didn't realise how good it was until I actually started taking calls.
It prepared me brilliantly for it. I felt very comfortable and confident.
I don't find it stressful. They're difficult but not stressful. The reason they're not stressful is the support.
After you've taken calls, you offload to your day leader. It's a really nice, supportive environment.
If my fellow volunteers available, then I might chat to them about it.
You have to tap into something that makes you want to be a Samaritan in the first place. I think you have to draw on that.
I think it's the support that you get within Samaritans that helps you to cope with the stressful times.
You don't take the call home with you at night. You leave it in the branch as such.
So you're never sort of left out on a limb by yourself struggling on a call. There is support for you.
I don't think there are many things that are really hard about being a Samaritan, but you do have to have the commitment of your time and your energy.
The A200 shift.
The commitment sometimes. Knowing that it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you just don't want to get out of that warm bed.
It's once every 2 months, so it's not that often, but it's part of the commitment. And yeah, getting up trying to get enough sleep before and enough sleep afterwards is always difficult.
I feel like turning over again and going back to sleep, but you don't.
It's difficult to know whether you're the right type of person to do it until you've actually started.
You do deal with some really difficult calls sometimes.
You never know which calls or contacts are really going to tug at your heartstrings. That's quite difficult.
The hardest part of being a Samaritan is dealing with what we would refer to as a 3 call. That's when the person's actively suicidal. They're on the phone and they're telling you that they want to end their life there and then, and very often they ask you, will you stay with me till the end?
And have you had that situation happen?
Yes. It's been a little bit of a leveller.
People say I've changed a lot. I've become a lot more confident.
I don't take anything for granted anymore, and I realise that even when I'm having a bad time, my life really isn't that bad.
I'm less judgmental of people. They could be going through a really tough time. There could be a lot going on in their lives.
I'm a better listener to my friends and to my family than I was before.
The life skills that I've picked up in the last 12 years, I don't think I could have bought.
It's changed me a lot. It's made me a more confident person.
I appreciate my stuff a lot more. I appreciate my friends, my family, my house.
It's very rewarding to have a conversation with someone and to listen to them at the end of it, and for them just to say, thanks so much for being there, thanks so much for listening.
It's mutually beneficial. You're not just here to help people, you're going to benefit from it as well. And there's a lot of learning involved, and I find that quite rewarding.
A lot of people just want a voice, someone to listen to, someone to talk to, and very, very often you can tell that people have got tremendous appreciation for the volunteer at the end of the phone.
So I think as a person I've grown. Also, I don't think I really appreciated how many people actually need the service and use the service. So I think from that perspective it's been really, if anything, probably more rewarding than I expected it to be. And also the amount of biscuits that they provide there. Just non-stop biscuits, honestly. I think I've put on about half a stone. It's all, God.
I think it's made me realise that I've got a lot to learn.
And then you just get one call and it reminds you why you're there, and then you go away and you think, I was there for that person, when they didn't have anyone else, and there's a big sense of satisfaction.
For me, I think it's you get a sense of having connected with people and hopefully made a difference.
But just being there is helping the person. I don't think people understand that unless they're actually doing it.
There's a humanistic element to it, just makes me appreciate people more. I mean, there's negative aspects about all of us, but I find that I can look at people now and not sympathise, but empathise with whatever people are going through, and genuinely as well, not just because I'm on the phone, but genuinely feel it as well.
I don't think I really thought too much about what I would get out of it at the time. Maybe the fact that I get so much out of it in itself is a surprising thing.
And when they turn around occasionally and say, thank you so much, it's like the biggest compliment you can ever receive.
If you like people, I think you'd enjoy it.
What's the most surprising aspect overall? What didn't you expect?
I think how we're all the same.
The variety of calls that we get and the variety of people that we speak to.
The fact that I actually really look forward to taking the calls, which might sound a bit bizarre, but I do.
Definitely just give it a go, because it's worth trying, and I think even once you've gone to the information meetings, there's the selection and training and things, and you'll find out whether or not you're the right sort of person for it quite quickly, I think.
I think the people that are calling up the Samaritans don't realise how close they are to being on the other side of the phone. I really do feel that.
Hopefully I'm doing something to help others in an otherwise very selfish world.